Okay, so this is a status update for the onyx lamp. And as you can see, I'm fitting these pieces together upside down. But so far, it's working out very well. The veining flows well together, and I think that in my opinion, it's looking very convincing for random pieces cut from random slabs. The trick is always lining up the veining, the natural veining of fissures in the material. And if you can do that, when it's all brought together, it will appear to be one piece. And that's really the most fun about it, is because it's like you're creating something that never was, and in the end, it becomes the piece that it messes with the eyes. It appears to be a bit of an illusion. So I'm using this brand here of epoxy. It's first time. It's the first day I've been trying it out. It's called CEC Corp, and I got that from Amazon. And so far, it's working well. It's difficult to find epoxies that set up clear. That's always been the problem, sourcing proper resins that don't distort, don't darken, don't yellow the color of the material. So many of them do. So we'll see how this one goes. But if this works out, then I can say with confidence that I can recommend this product. It's a bit early yet before I can actually recommend it for this purpose. But as you can see, these are all the other pieces as I'm slowly working them in, getting all the vein running through. So that I've picked this vein here because the way that this material works is it's like a prism. And even though these two parts look like they're slightly different tones, they're actually not. It's just the way that the light enters into it and is stopped at this natural. It's really a crack in the material in the form of a fissure, and it stops the light and doesn't allow it to continue through. So it changes the way that the light is perceived running through the material. And if I flip this around, this part won't be as dark as that. Once again, it changes the way that the light shines through the material. It's very interesting. That's I've really quite enjoyed this material because of that property. Putting this together, and I've got, as you can see, I've got three of the sides put together with three of the chamfers. I just have two more pieces to finish off to complete the bottom part of the lamp. And in the previous video, I talked about, the mitering of these pieces and bringing them together. Fortunately, despite my fabulous templates, even with the templates, I still miscalculated for the taper because it's a compound miter. So as the pieces are assembled, the miter changes in its width. So that was one mistake that I put together, that I made. But in the end, it's a happy outcome, because having a slightly undercut miter benefits the overall finish, because you can bring together two pieces really tight and file them in tight, and there's room for the epoxy in at the back. So as you can see, that's the end result. And the epoxy that I've just tried out for the first time actually has worked out really well. I'm very happy with it. It's very clear. That's one of the issues with epoxies, is not all epoxies are clear. So a lot of epoxies are slightly tinted with one tone or another, whether it be slightly amber or whatnot. This epoxy appears to be very clear and stable. So far, it's working out brilliant. It's very strong. It's easy to use. And to this point, I say that I recommend it for this application, though I don't trust epoxies, nor should anybody else. All epoxies have one inherent fault, is that they're always a little bit harder than the surrounding material, and as a result have a tendency to reject, and it's very difficult to determine how much of the epoxy has actually soaked into the material and how much of the epoxy is just sitting on the material. And as a result, when an epoxy fails, it fails without warning, and it just delaminates. The best kind of resins to use are ones that literally soak in, usually with an oil base. So there's a downside to those, is they do have a tendency to stain slightly. However, they fuse with the material, and as a result, the glue or the resin that you've used will never actually fail. The material around it fails. So essentially, it's like welding the stone together. And normally we use those for materials that are not transparent. They're fantastic. Unfortunately, for transparent materials, I haven't found a resin yet that has those same properties but is also crystal clear. So this is the compromise. So I will, before I'm finished putting this together, be putting in small mechanical fasteners, probably in the form of a wire tie, either a little rim of wire inset into a cut, or into form of little wire staples. Really important. Never trust an epoxy. I've seen too many times epoxies fail unpredictably, and they are an amazing filler that goes off hard and can be nicely finished, but they're not structural. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that they make in modern construction, modern engineering, is relying on these uh, synthetic adhesives as structural, and they're not. So that's one downside to them. But so far, these are working. It's working out well, and as you can see, I'm getting very close to getting the bottom assembled. Then I have to start working out the top pieces. I think it's going to be amazing. It's really so far. I'm really, will be the top. The top is the tricky one because of the sweep. As you can see, the sweep, I'll have to actually shape it and bring it together. That'll be a challenge, mostly because in calculating out the, I don't know if you can see here, in calculating out the thickness of the material. This is the sweep here, and this is the thickness of the material. What's shaded here represents the remaining stone. That will be very thin, so I may have to laminate this onto something else in order to support it when I'm shading that lamp. It's coming along really well. I've ordered the parts for it. They should be coming here next week. That'll allow me to gauge the space in the middle. I've ordered a light set for the inside to see, so hopefully that everything fits. If it does, it's going to be a very exciting project, and I'm really happy to be able to share it with everybody. There are those of you out there that find it as exciting as I do. Maybe inspire you to explore your own ideas. You know, all it takes is a bit of know-how with tools, some ideas, relentless passion for achieving, pushing things to the next level. So it's just time. You know, all these miters are all hand sanded in, and it takes time. It takes days and days and days to even keep track of the time. You just lose yourself in the project. But that's part of the passion of it. That's the crazy level of it, and it's something that modern day fabricators just can't comprehend, because it's all about profit and it's all about production and getting things done fast. So they use tools, mechanical tools. The most advanced tool I'm using is an angle grinder. and that's just for roughing out cutting the pieces. Beyond that, you can only take it so close to the line. Point, it's all hand sanding, and that allows me to get a razor edge that's chip free. Really, you get full control for doing it by hand, so it's very exciting. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that. I'll keep you updated on this, and let's see how this all comes together. So thanks for watching.